yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much for attending. Just wanted to congratulate you. I know some of you guys are champions in your different divisions. Some of you are most valuable players. Some of you are coaches. Some of you are parents. Thank you very much for being a part of our, I think it's probably our 6th or 7th high school soccer night. So thank you so much. Without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Chris, but here's how we'll kind of do this, just to make it nice and fun and interactive for you guys. I'm going to throw it out to you guys for questions. We can have Chris answer some questions, do a little bit of that, and then at the end, what we'll do is if you have cell phones and you'd like to get a photo with Chris, the players here in the front, you will hand me your cell phone. I'll take that photo for you guys. You can get an autograph as well if you'd like on some of your Quakes memorabilia, and then we'll call it a night. What do you think? Good? All right, awesome. So, I don't know if you want to say hi first, and then we'll take questions.
Hello, how you guys doing? Wish it was a better night. Wish we had 3 points, but appreciate you guys coming out and supporting us.
So I'll start first. So Chris, New York City FC, solid team. Quakes, a lot of big aspirations for the year. Obviously not the result we wanted tonight, but a lot to be optimistic about for 2018. Maybe talk a little bit about the changes in the team and the mentality and what the fans can look forward to this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited for this year and very optimistic. One of the key components I think for this year and years past is we've struggled, especially in the offensive third, being creative, being able to create opportunities, create chances, and I think this year our front four are pretty amazing. I think that we have Magnus Eriksson. His work ethic is unreal, but he also has some nice takers as well. And you have Vako, who I'm not sure if you guys saw his goal against Estonia, but it was pretty something special. YouTube that guy, and he's good.
Right on. I think that goal was #1 on SportsCenter's Top 10 Countdown. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was awesome. Wondo obviously has scored a lot of great goals in his career, which brings us to the conversation that everybody likes to touch on. Wondo, you are very, very close to becoming the all-time leading scorer in Major League Soccer. Do you think about that when you're out here? Do you think about it day to day? How much does that play on your brain when you're out here on the pitch?
Only when I'm asked that question. Out here, once I get on the field, I love playing, I love winning, I'm very competitive, and so I promise you, I know many people don't believe me, but I will score 0 goals all year if I get to raise a trophy. I promise you that. So, it's just one of those things where when we play well, we end up creating a lot of opportunities, and I end up finding myself on the end of them. So I'm promoting us to try to win games and create a lot of opportunities.
Awesome. Now, this is a group made up of high school men and women who have either won the championship or are considered outstanding players on their team. You grew up locally, played your soccer in the greater Bay Area. Maybe tell us a little bit about your high school soccer experience and how it kind of set the tone for what was next.
Something that you guys should do is be very proud of what you guys accomplished. Went to De La Salle, grew up in Danville, so I see Monte Vista, so yeah, Mustang, but went to De La Salle, NCS champions, so any NCS champions here, congrats. It's a pretty special deal, and so it's well done. I love my time. I thought high school soccer was, still to this day, I actually have some of my closest friends. Something about being able to represent your school, be a part of that, it was pretty special for me, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and it played a big part of who I am.
Now, you went to De La Salle. Who's De La Salle's rival?
We had at the time Ignacio Valley, but Deer Valley was our big rival. Deer Valley, yeah, see, there you go. They had some good guys. We played the NCS champions. But Amador, my senior year, Amador was a big one, even though they were different division, but we played in the championship and also won the Christmas Classic tournament, so they're always a good team.
Now, moving on to your college years, once you left De La Salle, talk to us a little bit about your college soccer journey and how it opened the doors to Major League Soccer.
Something that I would love to express to you guys is that if you guys want to play the next level, be your best promoter, be your promoter. Soccer is so hard to be able to go around and establish who's good, and to be able to go and recruit. And so if you're able to go out and promote yourself and recruit and just make yourself accessible, college is an amazing thing. And if you can use it to play soccer and use that as the next step, it's an amazing thing. And I kind of did that. I went to Chico State, Division II school. I wasn't recruited much recruited for soccer at all, especially Division I. Finally got an opportunity with Chico, and I loved it, and it was a great opportunity. Go Wildcats! But again, I recommend all of you guys go to college, no matter. See, I love that. That's absolutely, and so it was still the greatest experience of my life. So love that.
And now that you're so close to being, well, you are obviously immortalized in Quakes history, but to think of all the schools and what they're looking at now and thinking, oh man, we should have taken this guy. So let's move forward to the U.S. national team. You've had great success there, scored a ton of goals, been a part of some really great journeys. Can you maybe touch on some of your U.S. national team experiences for us?
Yeah, absolutely. It's an absolute honor to represent your country, and to be able to listen to the national anthem before the World Cup still to this day gives me goosebumps, and still the best memory. Obviously, I wish that World Cup would have ended better, but it's still one of the best memories of my life. And to be able to represent the country, I think maybe like 34, 35 times. I think I have caps and maybe 11 goals, and so cherished every moment of it, and it was amazing.
Okay, fantastic. So guys, enough from me. Let's get some questions from you guys. Do you have anything you'd like to ask Chris Wondolowski? Now is the time. Don't be shy. Questions? Let me rewind. Let's not be shy. You got a question? Come on.
Right now?
Total in his career for the Quakes?
So I have 135 total MLS goals, regular season goals. Let's see, I can do a quick math because I have 133 with the Quakes.
Give him a round of applause. That's a lot of goals, guys. Come on. Anybody out here got 135 goals for the Quakes? No, I'm kidding. Okay, so who else has questions? You got Chris Wondolowski right here in front of you. Now is the time. What do we got? There we go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's start here. What is your biggest piece of advice to prepare for college soccer?
It's a great question. I think that one of the things that I loved about this game is that it's ever evolving. You get to continue to learn it. I think it's very important to learn how to play every position. I think that helps you play your specific position. If you know how to play left back, you'll be able to play center mid. I think that it really helps, and if you're able to do that. Also, I think that you always need to work on your weaknesses, make it better. Whether it's being able to use both feet, but also make sure your strengths continue to sharpen your strengths. Make sure that they are the best. If you're great at passing, make sure that your passing becomes even better. If you can hit short passes, hit long passes, hit passes with your right foot, left foot. Make sure you're the best passer. And so I think that's one thing. It sounds so cliche, but work on everything. But make sure your strengths are even sharper than everyone else.
Okay, right here.
Who is was your preferred coach for the U.S. men's national team?
Ooh, cell phone's off.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great question. One of the things that I hope that it continues with the U.S. is that we continue to grow, and I was able to learn a lot from the different coaches. To be honest, I was able to play for Bob Bradley, Jurgen Klinsmann, and Bruce Arena, and I wish we could mold them all together, because I thought Bob Bradley is one of the best tactical coaches I've ever seen. His X's and O's, he knows the game. He knows exactly what he wants and envisions it, and he prepares you for that. And it could be almost robotic at times, but he knows exactly what you want. And Jurgen is a bit of a different. He loves to express yourself in this kind of free will, and but he taught me that there's so many components outside of the game, outside of the field, that to make yourself a good professional, a good soccer player, a good person, there's so many different things, and you have to be both mentally and physically happy to be your best. And I think he taught me that. And Bruce Arena was one just full of confidence, and he bred confidence into you. He wanted you. He felt like you wanted to get the best out of him, out of yourself for him, and I thought he did a great job with that as well. Obviously, I wish we did better, and we're doing something this summer. But I do relish every moment of it, and I did take a lot of great things from those coaches.
All right, who's next? Here we go. What do you got? Who is the best player you have ever played against?
That's another good one. So, I've been fortunate to play against Ronaldo, played against a lot, and I played Messi though in the Copa America. I haven't seen someone dominate a game like that, but for me, a defender, it was actually Gerard Piqué. He knew where I was going to pass the ball before I knew where I was going to pass the ball, and he read it, and I still need to get on my brain.
Now, mentioning international soccer, etc., with the U.S. not playing this summer, is there a team that you'll be watching or rooting for? Or does that even exist? How does that work?
That's a great question. I have no idea. It's still a numbing feeling, and I know watching those games, it's going to be a tough one. Kind of a March Madness fan right now, so just hoping for good games.
I know, we got some Villanova fans. All right, guys, any additional questions? Let's take one from back there first, then we'll come down to you. What's it like to be an NCS champ?
To be honest, that's up there for me. It's one of my best moments. I loved it. I still remember that moment vividly. Again, spending it with friends, spending it. It was my senior year as well, so it was kind of a bit special. Spending it with those guys. We actually had a lot of seniors. I think there was 7 seniors that year, and so spending. I remember going through freshman, JV, varsity with them, and so it was a special moment. Again, 2 of them are still close friends, and still talk to them, and we still bring that up quite often.
Good question. Right here? Did you have another one?
Your favorite match, either with the Quakes or with the
So most memorable match with the Quakes or the national team?
It's a great moment. For me, it's about moments that just really stick out and stick with me. And for me, let's see, there's just a couple moments. 2012, winning, clinching the Supporter Shield at home against the LA Galaxy at Buckshot, and being able to celebrate in front of the fans, and that was pretty special. But still, I think hearing the national anthem before the first World Cup game, I felt like I could run through a brick wall. I was so excited, even though I was sitting on the bench. I was just, it was pretty cool. Again, it still gives me goosebumps. But I think those 2 moments really stick out.
All right, guys, last question. Last 2 questions. Okay, see, that was a test. All right, last 2 questions. Go ahead. What is your biggest strength now and something you're still working on?
Another very good question. I think one of my strengths is that I'm somewhat decent at a lot of things. I can use both feet, I can pass, I can shoot, I can, kind of hold it, And so I think that's one of my, one of my strengths is just being okay. But one of the things that I really need to work on is my hold-up play, especially with my back to the goal and defender up my back. If I can connect passes a little bit more, I think that can help me get to the next level.
What do you got? What advice do we give to a player who thinks it's too late?
It's a very good question. For me, I think that find the love of the game somehow, some way, wherever it is. If it's indoor, if it's if you really do want to keep playing, find leagues. I think that it's important to play, and important to play the game in a way that you enjoy it, because I think that's the important thing. There's many different paths to your final goal. I really didn't think going to Division II and being with the reserves and with Houston Dynamo, and I look back to 2010 with no idea I would be here right now. And so it's just again, there's many different paths, and the journey's the fun part. You just have to be willing to like the grind. It's fun though. I'll see what I can do. You gotta try to coach after tonight. Maybe everyone can get a try.
All right, guys, so let's give Chris Wondolowski a big round of applause for spending some time with us. What we're gonna do now, guys, if you can, let's keep this pretty simple, orderly. We'll have Wando up here, front row. If you guys would like to take a photo, you can pass myself or Mark your cell phones. We'll get a photo, and then if you guys can file up the stairs, and then second row, and then third row. Gotta be quick, gotta be quick. Alright, you're good, you're good. You guys are the champ.
All right.
Whoa, get out of here. Ew. Yeah, I want to see
That's classic.
Go on back, go front.
Do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Ready? Gotta go. Picture deal pretty quick.
I was trying to think. Okay, go on.
Down with the
Of course.
There you go. Alright, ready for the pick? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Alright.
Never gonna leave.
Alright, here we go. 1, 2. There we go.
It's more civil now in my head.
Alright, come on out.
How you doing? Pretty good. Yeah, doing well. Alright, sign up. Right here. Yeah, absolutely. So I wasn't on the...
There you go. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Alright, how we doing?
Yeah, spoiled on a business. Got your money. Right now. Ceramon, we were always a little more, chill.
Alright.
That's your mind, 79.
Yeah, there you go.
1, 2. Perfect. Guys, thanks a lot.
Yeah, doing well.
Howdy.
Second.
Alright, ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Nice try home.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, action shots.
Yeah, no worries.
You guys a group? Alright, here we go. Ignacio Valley, your rivals, Wando.